Welcome to the Fatu Network News Review today, Wednesday, 5th December 2018. My name is Omar Wali. I'm here in the studios with two ladies, if I may put it that way, and Irene Shelley is the editor-in-chief of the Black Beauty and Hair magazine, and Anand Jai is the Chief Executive Officer of Beauty in Business and Face of Fashion for Africa. You may remember in 2012 there was a competition in the country organized by Face of Fashion for Africa at Kairaba Beach Hotel. I'll be discussing with them about the event they will be hosting in the Gambia and many other things. But I'm also talking to someone who counters, or someone from line in the US about the recent statement made by President Barrow that he is more powerful or will surpass former President Jammeh and Jawara, and another person who also defended or clarified on President Barrow's statement. The person said the statement was taken out of context. But before all that, I will start with the standard, and APRC Administrative Secretary Bakso resigns. That is the Bakari M. Jaite, alias General Bakso, who until yesterday was the Senior Administrative Secretary of the former APRC party, and has officially resigned from his position. He, in a letter sent to the Standard, and I quote, "I write to tender my resignation from the following position held within the APRC with immediate effect as follows: Senior Administrative Secretary, Signatory of the party accounts, and as an executive member of the APRC." The letter signed by Mr. Jete and shared with the Standard. He went on to say, "In a light of the above statement of the resignation from the relevant positions of the authority within the party, I wish to take this opportunity to thank the general membership of the APRC party, and in particular the founding father and the former president of the Republic, Yahya Jammeh." And he further went on to say that he will continue to support the APRC party. The statement, however, went on to say that Mr. Jede confirmed in the letter that he is still a member of the APRC party and he will continue to have the utmost respect for the party executive and the former president. Assistant Imam impregnates mother and the daughter. That is a story by the Standard. There is an assistant Imam name withheld from a village in the Combo Central is reported to have impregnated a teenage girl and her mother. Reliable sources within the village informed the Standard newspaper. Sources reported that the young girl, who runs missions to the assistant imam on behalf of the mother, who first got impregnated and ended up being victimized herself by the man. The Standard visited the village and many volunteers information about the details of the strange news, but they closed the contact the imam of the village, and the imam confirmed that the assistant imam, who is responsible for calling prayers every early morning, has returned the keys of the mosque but did not explain why. And ex-VP said Gambians must unite to implement NDP, that is the former vice president and the mother of Coalition 2016, Fatoumata Jallow Tambajang, has urged Gambians to take ownership of the National Development Plan and work to safeguard the unity that brought the change that ousted the dictatorship. Speaking at the launch of NDP website and cloud platform developed by a Point-Click Technologies in partnership with the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, Madam Tambajan said there is absolute need for Gambians to work together and build a cohesive body that is tolerant and united in implementing of the NDP. And CRC criticized Barrow's comment, GDC rather, criticizes Barrow's comment, that is the Gambia Democratic Congress, has learned with great shock and disappointment, excuse me, that President of the Republic of the Gambia, Adama Barrow, made some threatening remarks saying that he has more powers than the former President Yahya Jammeh. He was quoted as saying that Gambians were afraid of the Jammeh because he had police, the army, the SIS. And he said, and I quote, "I have more powers because I have police, the army, SIS, and the economic forces." This statement is not only threatening our people or the democracy, but also proven that President Barrow has a dictatorial tendencies. The president, instead of prioritizing our development needs and strengthening our young democracy, you focus on how to get a second term. That is a statement from the GDC. And Walfadjri boss Sidi Lamine Niasse dies. That is Sidi Lamine Niasse, the founder, the president and CEO of the famous Walfadjri Media Group in Senegal, has died at the age of 67. And Niasse established Walfadjri Group back in the 90s and was regarded as one of the pioneers of a vibrant media and free media in Senegal. President Macky Sall reacted to the sad news on Twitter account. He said, and I quote, "I have learned with emotion and disappearance of Sidi Lamine Niasse, a great name of the Senegalese press, active witness, and whose democratic struggle of our society. My compassion to the family and to the Walfadjri Group and the Senegalese press, to rest in peace." And the coalition will not commemorate 2 years anniversary. That is the chairperson of Coalition 2016 media team in the West Coast region, Esa Damfa, has confirmed to the Standard that the coalition government will not commemorate its 22nd year anniversary. This, he said, is because they coincided with the visit of the president's sympathizers from the West Coast region. And I'll move on to the other papers. I'll look into the Point, and the Point is reporting that Point also is reporting similar story that NAWEC failure to connect electricity angers Tanje Salandingoto ward. That is the residents in the coastal settlement of Tanje Salandingoto in Kombo South are currently undergoing total frustration and dissatisfaction with the delay in connecting the area with national electricity grid. And Lady Councillor advocate for women to own lands, that is the Fatu Fati, a lady councillor in Nyamina Dankunku district in the Central River region, has said that the new constitution should give right to women to access their own lands. And on the Foria newspaper, the Foria also is reporting that the new constitution should make provisions for strong death penalty. That is Lamin Sise of Jara Japine village in the lower river region of the Gambia said the death penalty should not be abolished in the proposed new constitution because it is a deterrent to the crime rate and killings of people without any genuine reasons. Sise said this is in response to questions posed by the Commissioner Yankuba Manjang on the death penalty in the 1997 Constitution during the engagement of the people in Japine with the CRC on the 3rd December 2018. And the Voice newspaper, the Voice also saying Jobate says President Barrow has no power over Gambians. That is Madi Jobate, United Kingdom Westminster Foundation, the Gambia country representative, has said that it is indeed scary and extremely disappointing to hear the chief servant, Adama Barrow, claiming that he has more powers than tyrant Yahya Jammeh simply because, just like Jammeh, he also owns the security institutions of the country as well as the economic. The statement is utterly false, ignorant, and a clear betrayal of the people. The truth is Yahya Jammeh never owned any public institution in this country. And even when he claimed and misused them, this is diabolical purpose, he said in a statement available to this Voice newspaper. He added that any reference that Jammeh owned any state institution is a damn lie, said Madi Jobate. And murder of April 10 victim demand justice from the government. That is the Marie Theresa. A murder of one of April 10 and 11 victims has demanded justice from the government for her late son. Crisaso Pereira was shot dead with dozens of others by Red Security in 2000 under the former President Yahya Jammeh, and which left many people dead and injured. So that's all we have for you on the papers. I will now turn to my guest, and Irene Shelley is on the left side. She is the editor-in-chief of the Black Beauty and Hair magazine, and on the right side is Anand Jai, is the CEO of Beauty in Business and Face of Fashion for Africa. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Okay, I will start with Irene. Guys, I can see the Black and Beauty and Hair magazine, and you're saying the Black and Beauty Hair magazine for women who wants to look amazing. How do you make somebody amazing?
Well, I think when we first started, when we first published the magazine, it was because the trends, the prevailing trends at that time were chemical trends like relaxing hair and perming hair. So the companies came from the US to sort of educate the UK public about how to look after their hair and how to do the new trends. So so that's where we started from. So really now what we are doing is, because the trend has changed and women aren't using chemicals anymore, they're going natural. So we're teaching them, if they want to go natural, the right products to use, the sort of hairstyles they need, and also how to care for their hair.
Anna, you are the CEO of Beauty in Business and Face of Fashion for Africa. I think this is the first time such a magazine is coming to the Gambia. Why Gambia? And can you tell us how the partnership with the Black and Beauty and Hair magazine?
Well, it's been a relationship that I've been working on for 5 years. Irene's laughing. I was determined to bring them to the Gambia. I'm always looking at different ways of being able to showcase the Gambia, and always looking for new markets. And as you know, that in the past we used to have a column, Beauty in Business, which was educating the local community about beauty, fashion, and why we should take it seriously. And so Irene Shelley, when I had the last Fashion for Africa, agreed that yes, it was time, especially because of the natural hair, natural beauty products movement, that she would come to the Gambia and explore what beauty we have here on the ground, and about the entrepreneurs as well, who are also involved in producing natural beauty products.
Irene, how long have you been publishing the magazine?
The magazine's been publishing since 1982, okay. So many years. And since that time, it's really developed into the product we have now. And I think it's a worldwide thing. People aren't buying or reading magazines in the ways that they used to. But what's good for us is that the magazine's seen as sort of the hair and beauty Bible for Black women. So people, hair salons have us in their shops, so people can sort of flick through and have a look at the styles they want. So, and I think that's helped us sort of keep selling in numbers.
I know you will having some activities in the country, so can you tell us about some of the activities you'll be embarked on during this period?
Apart from doing field research with Irene, we're visiting farms and beauty salons in the country, we're also hosting part of a fashion and beauty journalism panel with the University of the Gambia. Yeah. So that's one of the most significant activities that we're doing here, which will be happening tomorrow, the 6th of December at the University of the Gambia School of Journalism. So we've invited a lot of people, with the thanks of Aissatou Bokum, who's part of the panel and also part of the association there. And we've invited a lot of people from journalists, students, press union, and the Ministry of Education as well, to be able to have audience with Irene Shelley, and also a award-winning photographer that I brought over as well, who's just going to be able to help to do a talk on the importance of journalism in the subject area of fashion and beauty, and people who want to be inspired go into that field as well.
You talked about the reading culture, and I'm sure you like to bring new content. So, do you have plans to bring new people from the Gambia into the magazine?
I think through what we're doing with Anna, we're planning to do a shoot. Okay. So the photographer's now, he's sort of scouting for models to use. So we are going to put the Gambian models in the magazine. Probably for the April-May issue, because we work 2 months in advance. So it's very exciting because you have a very beautiful country, and visually I can see the photos looking really good.
So you said in your next edition, maybe in March, you will feature some Gambia. So what is the benchmark for that, for someone to be featured in the magazine?
We take a lot of our content from hair salons, so they're the people who are sort of working on the new trends, and they send us their work, and we sort of make up editorial stories around them and feature them in a particular issue. So, and also the same with beauty companies as well, and yeah, and beauty treatments as well, because that's something, again, that's sort of growing.
Like, I'm sure the magazine is not available in the Gambia yet, but how soon are we going to have them here?
Well, the culture here, people tend to be online a lot. So Black Beauty magazine, Black Beauty and Hair magazine can be subscribed online.
Okay.
Yes, it can.
Yes,
Yeah.
so we're going to be
Facebook,
pushing
Twitter,
that.
or Instagram, what is it?
Oh, we're on Twitter and Instagram. It's at Black Beauty Mag.
Okay. At Black Beauty
Mag, M-A-G, Mag. And someone on the feed asked if my hair's natural.
It's natural, yes.
It is. It's all me, it's all mine.
Okay,
so,
so
yes,
yeah, as you
it's
have seen the
natural.
comment section.
So there.
So Anna, you tell me, what are the significance of bringing this magazine to the Gambia?
I've done it before. I mean, Irene will be like my 17th media that I've brought to the Gambia. The significance for me of bringing media to the Gambia is just that they can tell so much in terms of the story, content, and they have an eye for what the people want to know and want to see, more than an ordinary person like myself who's more into events. So that's why it's important to bring magazines like this. They're the experts, they're the industry experts, and they can network and inspire and mobilize people as well. So I mean, like I said, I've done this before, and we've been featured in several magazines, and I think it just works well when you bring a magazine and you bring a photographer as well that shows the country in a very beautiful manner.
And positive,
And positive
light,
yeah,
because we
positive
don't get
lights,
a
yeah.
lot of stories, positive
It's coming
stories
out of
coming out of
Africa.
Africa.
Definitely.
So this, the competition that Anna did was, I call it Africa Positive, because you don't often hear about the models or about even the fashion industry out in Gambia. And in the UK, when I mentioned that I was coming to Gambia, people had a lot of positive things to say about your country, which is amazing. And one woman was even looking to manufacture her fashion items in the Gambia. So people are getting the message. So if we can spread the word, a lot more people will listen.
Yeah, exactly. So their circulation is.
Yeah, somebody's asking
big.
what products do you use on your hair?
It's basically very simple, oil and water. So I have a water spray, and so I spray it to keep it moist, and then I put the oil on top of that to lock in the water, and my hair grows and grows and grows. So yeah, it's a very simple regime. So I'm looking at sort of lots of natural products. So it could be moringa oil, it could be argan oil. Yeah, any oil I can get my hands on.
I went to even the goods market the other day, and someone had like natural carrot oil. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, carrot.
That's good for your skin.
Yeah.
That's excellent for your skin.
Yeah, carrot
Yeah.
oil. So there's a lot going on here, and then what's interesting is young people taking an interest on processing, natural products.
Sure.
So that's very enlightening. Like I said, anything to showcase the country, of course it's my country I love, anything that's going to show it in a positive light, as Irene put it more eloquently, is what the movement is for. And yeah, I'm just really glad that Black Beauty and Hair accepted.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk about the number of people. How many people do you think will feature in the next edition of in the March edition also? Gambia.
Ooh, Gambia. Gambian
Approximately.
people.
Yeah, Gambian people. Now that you came and you met some
Oh
of them.
my goodness.
We don't know the number.
To tell the truth, I don't know the number.
Okay.
So I won't sort of try and make something up. But it'll certainly be a model.
Okay.
If we go for a couple of girls, it will be both of them in the shoot. But yes, yeah, I can't tell you.
You can tell.
Sorry.
Anna, let's talk about the event at the university.
Mm-hmm.
So what is going to be the format at the university?
The format is going to be having like panel discussions and also question and answers. The panel will be have Irene herself, the photographer, Sabali, and myself, and we'll just going to be giving very powerful talk on the reason why it's important for documentation. And you know, with Sabali, he's an author, so and he's a motivational speaker as well. So that's one of the reasons why I definitely wanted him on the panel. And also we'll be having the National Centre for Arts and Culture, Sheikh Omar, as well, talk about the importance of the arts, and fashion is part of the arts. And so that's what it's for. It's really to be motivational, to be able to encourage the young people who are in journalism to say that, you know what, there's not only one way to write, and then also you can write about something you're passionate about, like what Irene has done, coming from a fashion background, and then she just went on to look at a gap and see that, okay, women didn't have so much confidence in themselves, and so she just built up a magazine with her team on how to put, you know, mobilize self-esteem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Through the magazine, through beauty.
Irene, finally, what will be your final message before you leave?
My final mission, oh wow.
Message, I mean.
Message?
Right.
Oh, sorry. Final message is, I think black women should not be scared to present themselves any way they want to. We've heard in the past that they are often told how to look by everyone. So I think we should get a lot more confident about the way we present ourselves. And as long as you're not sort of selling yourself short, you can have relaxed hair, you can wear a weave. If it's what you want to do, just do it in the best way that you can.
Anna?
My last words really are that please do come along to the talk tomorrow at the University of the Gambia School of Journalism to hear what the experts have to say. I think I back up what Irene has to say. There's no country that I know, of course I'm being biased, that cares about beauty more than anything. You know, with limited budgets, limited resources, the Gambian women definitely do not stop at anything to look as beautiful as they can. And just hopefully that, you know, the experts here that I've brought along will be able to help them in that respect, especially the models as well, you know, giving them encouragement, you know, and how to be able to present themselves in front of cameras, and also just about mobilizing them to be the best that they can be.
Okay, thank you so much. Anna Njai, the CEO of Beauty in Business and Face of Fashion for Africa, and Irene Shelley, the editor-in-chief of Black Beauty and Hair magazine, and for your time. And we will move on to a story. A recent remark made by President Barrow that he has power, he has the police rather, the army and the economy, has generated a lot of condemnations from different quarters of the country, from politicians to activists to ordinary citizens. And today Mami Sedikan went out and engaged the opinions of people. And here is what they had to say.
Your SIM card today for the real Africell 4G SIM and receive 1 GB of internet data for
The recent statement made by President Adama Barrow when he met with the people of West Coast, when he said that Gambians were afraid of the former president, Jammeh, because he had the police, the army, and the SIS, that is the former NIA. He further said, I have more power because I have the economic forces, the police, the army, and the SIS. Well, the Fatu Network deemed it necessary to come to the University of the Gambia to gauge reactions from the youths who feel they have a say.
The statement made by the president, anyway, to me, one thing that I want to make very clear is now that we live in a new Gambia. The new Gambia in the sense that, you know, the entire thing now is about unity, and the past cannot come again. You know, the fact that you have the securities as support structures when it comes to governance and other sectors, those are not for the state utilization. They are for the citizenry. So if anybody who thought that those instruments can be used, to suppress or to oppress people, this is something that will not be a reality of the modern Gambia.
That is a comment that shouldn't have been made, because Gambia is a democratic state, and saying that the economic around and the police and everything, they're here for the interests of the Gambians at large, and not the individual, like the president himself.
Regarding the statement that the president made, I think this is very contradicting, because initially he said we all portrayed Jammeh as a dictator because we felt that he was so much powerful because he had the military. And Barrow saying that he has the SIS and the economic forces and that he is now much more powerful than Jammeh, for me it's very irresponsible of him as the president of the Gambia.
Looking at the president's statement is kind of complicated. We were saying that Jammeh was a dictator because he has the army, he has the police, he has the SIS, and currently we have heard that the president is saying that he's more powerful than Jammeh because he has an addition of the economic forces, meaning he now wants to use that dictator style, because if at all he has all this, according to him, he's more powerful than Jammeh. Probably he just wants to use that power because all those people are under him directly, so he can authorize them to do anything, whether legal per se or illegal, because he has that power.
We are saying that, and we believe, the hope and the confidence we have in the president, this is something that is going to continue to spread through his term in office. And we will not see, never again will we see what we have encountered before. I don't want to believe that this will be the new narratives and there will be new things that they will be spreading around the people's mind. That is not something that we want for. That is not something we fight for. That's not something the new Gambia is ushered in for.
That was a story by Mami Sedikan there on the president's statement. And to take that story forward, or that remark made by President Adama Barrow, I'm in the studio with someone who is serving as a spin doctor. He had a different opinion, saying that the president's statement was taken out of context. And he wrote a statement responding to one made by the Gambia Democratic Congress. And let's take a moment with him. Honorable, welcome.
Thank you very much, Omar, and hello, viewers.
Okay, there is a debate. President has been under heavy criticism for saying that he has the police, the military, the SIS, that is the defunct National Intelligence Agency turned SIS, but he has the backing of the economic forces. And you wrote a statement and responding to GDC press statement, condemning President Barrow's statement on the 2nd December 2018 as misleading, fallacy, and erroneous, as you put it. Why do you have a different opinion when the president said this and you said no, it was this and that and that?
No, contextually, they decided to only cut haphazardly of the president's statement. But what I'm going to do is, I would also want to play the statement where President talked about the economic forces. And in my response to the GDC statement, which was published by the Party Network last night, that what the president said was in Mandinka. Yeah. And you hear he said Kunung. Kunung, yeah. He was talking about people, things he doesn't have power. He said, but Kunung, the same one Membenunjang, the powers that were vested under Jammeh as commander-in-chief, I also have the same powers, and in fact even more. And he was jokingly. He said, yesterday President Jammeh had the army, the police, and the NIA. He said, today I have the police, the army, the NIA, and the economic forces. He said, when you talked about economics, you talked about 15-member block of the Economic Committee of West African State. He said, but what is important, in court, but what is important with those powers or power and authority should be used in accordance with the dictates of rule of law. He said those powers, Wosembo, you can use it with Bunya and in Hormo. Wosembo, you should use it and in dignity. So you see, they just choose to cut, to say that Yajam has Sembo, I have Sembo, and where he talked about the economic, they stopped there. But he said, and in fact, if you listen to President, he was making an analogy, but with respect and dignity, he was kind of trying to tell people, whatever one does, one should know that power resides with the people. And whatever power vested on you, it must be exercised in accordance to rule of law, in accordance to dictates of the constitutional responsibility that is attached to him. Because before I go further, let me just play what President Barrow said, so that, because there are many people, in fact, I saw somebody who was kind of confused about that. But when I played the correct version to him, he said, oh my God, this is serious. So, you know, it is wrong to say that President Barrow has some dictatorial tendencies, and he claimed that he's using the economic and the armed forces to antagonize and to victimize people and to commit atrocities. That was erroneous. You have never said that. You know, it was...
No,
but let me just play.
You can play. No, you can leave it like that. You can just play it like that. But by the way, I have a...
Mobile silani ko yaja be sembo le ba bare sinyo faale ko sembo men be yaja me la kunu sembo men tambi da wala be ndu kunu atene be munjan sodarol babulu police wal babulu SAS babulu barinde police soldier SAS economic wonbe be mulida odo esalo ko sembo benna ni ko economic amuto ko ECOWAS West Africa ni bangu tandi lulo be abela sembo be mulo ko ngande ko bari mune kumaya wo sembo nyinka sambani loi wo sembo nyinka sambani bunya wo sembo nyinka sambani borwa wole kumaya.
Okay, we have taken at least a gist of that, what the president said. But Sidi, looking at the nature of this country, somebody who has been here elected, you talk about cutting that portion haphazard. I know somebody is on the line. You just said, I will come to you. But should president make such a statement in a country that should focus on important issues than I have powers and this and that and that? Does it make sense to you?
No, in fact, he made those statements because he wanted to tell Gambians that nobody could use powers that are vested on you constitutionally to abuse them and to abuse authority or power.
That is your interpretation.
That's what the president said, because he said, Wasembo, those powers must be used in lines with dictates of rule of law, human dignity and respect. That's what he said. That was very clear. You know, for me, if president had just stopped at Sembo, I have this and ECOWAS, and he continued on other business, then one could have said that, yes, President Barrow, this is what he's insinuating. But he made it very clear. He said, Wasembo. For me,
let me tell you this. I think my Mandinka is good, even though my mother is not a Mandinka. She taught me Mandinka, and I know Mandinka more than you. But looking at what the president said, is he not issuing threats?
No, Omar. You are Mandinka, you hear Mandinka more than I do. Even me who doesn't hear better Mandinkas. Understand, I know what is Mune Kumayata.
Yeah, but
Wasembo. Ka Wasembo use aning luala. Wasembo. Ka Wasembo use aning hormoto. Wasembo. Ka Wasembo use aning human dignity. Well, everybody knows about. That's what the president said.
Okay.
It's one word.
Okay, somebody is on the line. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Mr. Sidi Sane, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Wali, for inviting me.
Okay, I'm in the studio with Sidi Njai, as you know, and we are discussing about the statement made by President Barrow that he has the police, the military, and so on. I would just want to know, what is your opinion on what the president just made, the statement made by President Barrow?
Yes, I think I've heard a bit of what Mr. Jai was saying.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the audio was not very clear. So, but anyway, his attempt was to see how best he can dress up the statement that all of us heard from President Barrow, a statement which I consider to be ill-timed and rather unfortunate. It is ill-timed because it is currently the TRRC is conducting its consultation tour across the country, where they are trying to sort out the issues that were brought about out of 22 years of dictatorship of Jammeh, who has employed the very same forces that President Barrow was displaying yesterday or the day before, of using the army, the force, the police force, and now with ECOMIG. So I think it is ill-timed. ECOMIG mission is very clear.
Yes.
It is very specific, and it is unambiguous. And I think this must be something that President Barrow must keep in mind. The forces were dispatched by ECOWAS to enforce the will of the Gambian people expressed in the December 1st, 2016 presidential elections.
Okay.
With the results of which Jammeh threatened to abrogate.
Mm-hmm.
It was as a result of that that the ECOMIG came into being.
Yes.
They are in the Gambia to protect the Gambian population.
Mm-hmm.
They are not here to propagate the powers of an individual. That must be made very clear to Mr. Barrow and his advisors.
Okay, Mr. Sane, you just stay online. I have another person also on the phone, Loli Nyang. Hello, Loli.
Hello, Omar.
Jamarek.
Yes, I can get up for the platform. Dama wa man legi la tune in magis mo gewa.
Where?
Why man dama phone film ne kani? Ama tud lu ñoo justify fi because ko xamne yow demba yaangi taxawon.
Yeah.
Ne nañu rendi Barrow bum taxaw nek president bu jama am Gambia yow tay mënu lo ñew di ñu justify ne waxi Barrow bi is not a threat or anything because I don't think li wax bi dina hold water because I don't think it's necessary or xana ko xamne dafa dof or ko xamne nekulo ci sa senses. I'm sorry to say that nekul dama insult ni sen yaram neewul but dama wax ni yene yi mun nit mun da tok fi nga ne dang ko justify pour nit yi deglu la. This was just less 2 years ago Berka Dimba ñu jon on interview ko over and over mu wax ne yaaya du dem dafa wara stay ci dëkk bi pour continuer de rey suñ nit ñi so tay su threat bi ñëwé nga taxaw ne dang ko justify because just pour nekk ne a president or pour jege nguur yal nañu yàlla musal ci lii. What is this? Nit dafa war a gëm boppam. Nit dafa who is Barrow? Kan mooy Adama Barrow nit ñi ñoo tax mu nekk Adama Barrow because nit ñi xamuñ woon mooy kan. Nit ñi ñoo taxaw mbooloo nit ñi jaayante seen bakkan sànni kapta koo xam ne moom ñun ki ñu doon oppose moom kooku la doon faral dimba so lan moo change tey doomu aadama yi nañ comme seen boppa waaye doomu aadama fonkal sa boppa.
All right.
àddina yëpp dafa jeex.
Okay. Thank you so much, Loli.
Thank you,
Uncle Sidi Sane, you stay online there for 2 minutes. Yes.
Omar, lu may wax rek mooy ne.
Uncle Sidi, just stay online for somebody.
Lu ndaw si wax.
Yeah.
And
yes, I'm online.
Entitled to opinion am.
Yeah.
Waaye lu ma wax mooy ne do ne justify threat also in fact amul benn threat bu President Barrow lu ma wax mooy ne Uncle Sidi Sane sa su dee am naa number am danaa ko yónnee di full statement lu ma wax mooy ne. li nga xam ne loolu la président Barrow wax ak ñeneen ñi lu ñoo wax dafa uute ni guddi ak bëccëg.
ok for you
loolu suma right la pour wax ko because président Barrow lu mu wax ak nit ñi lu ñoo wax du benn moom dafa waxu kenn ne dafa use the economic forces pour threaten Gambians si ou pour commit atrocities moom mu ne président Barrow in fact gis nga nit ñi sax su dee dañ àndoon ak seen sago nañ doon war a dalal seen xel. When President Barrow Mune as commander-in-chief, and also even with the economic forces present in the Gambia, why Mune those powers can do Mune use without the dictate of rule of law.
Okay.
Lolu dafa clear.
Okay.
How much benen
that is your interpretation. Uncle
it's
Sidi.
not about, it's not ambiguous.
No, I'm not. I said that's your interpretation.
Well,
Uncle Sidi.
President Barrow, there was an ambiguity in it. Suneko is a pregnant living. Aha. Why mom dem na be Daniel Kado. So man lolu dara luma say.
Okay. Uncle Sidi, what is your take on this thing? Is it necessary for the president to make this thing, or is he issuing threats, or what is your interpretation of the whole thing? I saw you wrote something on your Facebook about this issue.
Yes, I think, again, back to what Mr. Njai has said, I am very sympathetic to his position because he is put in a very difficult position to come and respond to a very untenable situation.
Right.
This is why, this is a very clear example of why we need to separate the politics from the policy.
Okay.
The politics, I have accused President Barrow before of concentrating more on politicking than on governing. And this is where you have him, trying to extend his 3-year mandate to a 5-year mandate. I have no problems with that. But there are norms. You have to separate the State House from your politics. If you don't do it, you are always going to end up in positions like this. It is not an excuse to use a political platform to talk about the security of the country, apart from assuring the population.
Yeah.
But if we are using it as a threat, which is an implied threat, whether it was intentional or not, this is how it is being perceived. This is why he must separate his political campaign from the office of the presidency.
Okay, let me ask you here. Sidi Njai was in Jammeh's camp during the 2016 presidential election. Jammeh ended up losing the election, and Sidi stood with Jammeh and said he's going to stand with Jammeh through thick and thin. And eventually Jammeh fled the country. He went with Sidi Njai. Sidi came back. Now he close flanks with Barrow. What do you make of all that? It seems so many people are angry with Sidi Njai. Is it wrong for Barrow to be with somebody who said he's not going to be inaugurated in this country?
Well, look, I have a different perspective on this. He is a politician.
Right.
And politicians, you know how they are. They are here today, they are over there tomorrow. Now, I don't condone that type of an attitude because I believe that if you do believe in something and you are committed to it, as a politician, you should have and commit yourself to those views and norms that dictates the type of political philosophy that you represent. That is something that is separate. I don't have any animosity. I have bumped heads with Sidi and many other AFPRC and APRC personalities in the past. I have no grudge against them at all. He is free. It's a free society. He can associate himself with any political party now. That is not the problem. The problem is if you do associate yourself with a political party, just make sure that you separate the policies from the politics.
Okay.
If you are going to be governing, govern entirely for the entire country, for every single person. If you are doing your politics, you can politics for the Barrow Youth government, the Barrow Youth movement, or some other political party, like for instance UDP. I have no qualms about him going the other way. I have treated them all the same, in my view.
So,
you want to add something?
Yeah, thank you very much, Uncle Sidi. As I said, if you have your number, I can collect it from Omar and I will send you the audio. Yeah. Omar,
yes, please.
I really appreciate his contribution. The problems of most Gambians is because of ignorance.
Okay.
They are ignorant in terms of politics, in terms of diplomacy, in terms of relationships, and in terms of governance. Hamuñ dara. Ñoom seen own attitude mooy saagande rek. Man luma believe luma gom lolu ngay gom soko gomute rek na la saagande ite manki ding ken noti. And that is not politics. Politics or governance and morality du benn dafa ute. Yow tey ku la ne kooku ngay support waaye naa la respect si loolu man bu ma nekkoon APRC dama keep xarit ñoo xam ne ay UDP lañ am up to today waaye lu ma wax mooy ne tamit xëy na Uncle Sidi wax na fi lu am solo mu ne politics and policies but you know office of the president of the Gambia he's a politician because dafa taxaw dafa contest elections so di nga gis ne di two lañ fuse together so daf dee difficult comme soo buggee separate the two unless you change because yow foog nga def politics na nga mun a nekk a president so if you elected as a president su ñu ne da nga war a bàyyi politics dafa jafe waaye lu ma wax mooy xam naa ne Uncle Sido any well meaning Gambian xanaa nga déglu rek fu président Barrow wax ne economic forces rek mu stop there but if you listen to his statement either nga watch ko on television or on Radio Gambia or nga déglu di full statement di nga xam ne moom lu mu wax dafa clear jigéen bi lu moo wax noonu man du ma tontu yenn waxi kalaw yoo xam ne with emotion man de ma nekk koo xam ne believe fu ma in emotions ba pare lu ma believe su ma demee ba convince ne tey de Sidi Ndiaye man Sidi Ndiaye léegi de lii laa war a toppa aw ma double standard aw ma si di nobatu di ne xaar ma si lii ni déedéet lu ma gom lu ma gis lu ma wax président Barrow lu mu wax nii ku nekk képp ñoo xam ne am nañ different opinion and views on that wallahi I respect them with their opinion and views waaye loolu nag caageen taxut ne ñoom lu ñoo tuumal président Barrow lu am la parce que président Barrow meekul benn threat in fact moom sax soo xoolee loolu sax mun ngaa wax leneen mu ngi laa wax ne sax su dee da nga déglu bu baax daf laa wax ne power bu Jammeh amoon di commit atrocities against the citizen is the same power I will not use because those powers must be used in accordance to law. That was clear. Mune wo sembo nyanta tamala aning silo la aning lua la wasa. Wo sembo nyanta tamala aning hormo. Wo sembo nyanta tamala aning bunya. Those were exact words of President Adama Barrow. So ni di ko tubis Anton
Uncle Sidi, if you are still online, I have one or two questions for you. You had Sidi, Sidi said, you know, there is this saying that all politicians are the same. And you also hear that there is this cliche that, you know, there is no permanent friend or permanent enemy in politics, only permanent interest. If you know what happened in Kenya. Okay, I'm coming. Let me finish. Diplomacy.
He said diplomat. You can ask the foreign minister. Okay, diplomacy. Permanent interest.
Okay, let me put politics aside. Let's talk about diplomacy. Somebody's enemy. You remember the Syria issue? My enemy's enemy became my friend when Syria issue came up. They want to fight the ISIS, and somebody said, well, Assad is our enemy, but now we want to join Assad and fight the ISIS. Now, do you think Sidi Ndiaye is the right person to make those comments like that? No, let me finish. No, he's saying he doesn't mind. Yesterday it was Jammeh, today is Barrow. So what do you make of that?
Omar, it's not about Sidi Ndiaye today, it's about this thing, Omar. Please,
okay, I'm coming
don't
to that.
do personal things. I don't like personal
things.
Things,
okay, let him respond to that. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, carry on.
Oh, that was meant for me. As I said earlier, really, this is a matter of personal philosophy. You know, I mean, a politician, I don't subscribe to the idea that politicians are unprincipled.
Yeah.
I have known politicians in the past. I have known a lot of politicians. There are some who are highly principled, and they will not budge an inch. And I will give you one good example, or two or three good examples. And if you go to Doi, you will find that Halifa Sallah, when he was establishing Doi back in 1986-87, I was one of the first to have known about it because he came to my office and told me that he was resigning from the civil service to go and join and create this party together with Sidi Ajata. And he has been in that same position ever since. So you do have, he's a politician, but he is highly principled. That is of the extreme nature, by the way, because you have, you know, I think that you need to be a little bit flexible as a politician. So you've got all shades of gray as far as politicians are concerned. So really, I guess it all depends on how you handle yourself, and you have to have certain basic principles. You don't just, you know, change overnight because you have a new political forces in power. Again, it's a matter of choice. It's a matter of individual choice. So really, that's as much as I can say. You know, I have very high regard for someone like Halifa Sallah. The same thing applies to Ousainou, by the way. You know, I think that he has also been with the UDP for 22 odd years, and these are highly principled individuals. So you've got them in all shades, as I say. There are some who will change at the blink of an eye, but you have others who are principled and they believe in what they represent and in what they believe in the type of political philosophy that they subscribe to. So really, I think it's a matter of individual choice. The decision rests with the voter. It's how I perceive Sidi Njai as a politician, how I perceive him as an individual will it's very important in how I decide whether I should cast my vote for him or not. The same thing applies to President Adama Barrow. What I would have loved to see Adama Barrow do was to really do the reforms that were there. This is a transition government. This is a transition. This is not a normal government. Unfortunately, people are looking at it from the point of view that this is a normal government. This is not a normal government. This was a transition government. You go in there to try to strengthen the very weak institutions that over 22 years of Jammeh. Reform the civil service. I have been yapping at this for the longest. If he had done only that, and also the expansion of the economic mission, when Jean-Claude Brou, together with Ibn Chambers, were there in a mission, I think back in July or so this year, they extended the economic mission, apart from the security that they are guaranteeing the Gambian population, to include a security sector reform. Now, if he really concentrates on those issues, and together with the TRRC that is coming on, I hope it is coming along nicely.
Okay.
They have done a lot of consultations, including myself, and the TRRC, and then you have the CRC as well, which are already currently in our country doing some consultations. If he had just concentrated on those reforms, I think we would have been a long way off. But he is, as I've said in my last blog, that he is too much focused on getting re-elected or getting his mandate extended. Unfortunately, he is using the State House to do it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Uncle Sidi Sane, for your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, I'll continue with you. We will wrap up very soon. Some people say that you're among the people who are responsible for economics coming to this country. Is that true?
I respect their opinion. I was in APRC for 11 years as a national executive member, and I was a member of parliament for 10 years. Whatever happened during that time, under my districts, anything that is Sidi Njai responsibility, I will take responsibility for that. But I can assure you that today, and you know, when I resigned from APRC, I was here. In fact, Uncle Sidi Sane also was with us. He was with APRC, and he was even a minister for I think about a week or so. And there are so many people. Fatou Camara, I remember traveling with her to the African Union in Ethiopia at the African Union Summit with the former president, with Fatou Camara and others. She was here, all of us, and so many Gambians, because most of us were APRC, and today they want to, you know.
It seems your only crime is the used to.
I have not committed.
No. When I say crime.
No. I know. Yes. I know what you want during the impact. I have not committed any. Omar, you know me. I have not committed any crimes in this country. And those who knew me while I was in APRC, either in Parliament, in the open or closed door, no start. And that's why I am proud. I have not committed any crime in this country. I stood by my party at the time, but you know, when I resigned, I extended an apology to every Gambian. Every Gambian. That's the reason why now I don't want to, because there are people, they choose to be ignorant. So that's why I don't want to talk to them. And President Barrow, the family members, and everybody accepted if I have committed anybody.
Fatou Camara is responding. Fatou Camara said, hey, Sidi Njai, we were working for the government, not for APRC. So, but now, Sidi.
Yes, he wasn't a politician. He held no political position in the APRC. But she was very influential, like other people also were very influential on the APRC government. You know, I was just using her as an example, but I have not said that she have committed anything or done anything. I have not said that, and I will never say that. And what I said, I was just trying to give an example that of many people who were with us and then serving either the country or the APRC government.
So it's like you were with APRC, you decided to go with Barrow as we know.
Yes.
So there is no crime as far as you are concerned. Yes. So those who are against you.
In fact, you know, Omar, there are people that some Gambians are hailing them and supporting them. And those who are hailing those people and they're against me. Yeah. But those people commit a lot of crimes in this country. And ñu ngi leen a dégg ci newspaper, ñu ngi leen a dégg in the commissions or the TRRC yaa ngi ñëw. But for me, alhamdulillah, mashallah, maa ngi around, my hands are clean. Kenn du la wax ne mus nañ ko arrest ngir Sidi Njie, mus nañ laa daaxa ngir Sidi Njie, or mus nañ laa def dara ngir Sidi Njie. Kenn du ko wax. Billahi wallahi tallahi.
But people had accident when they were fleeing the country and they died. That was during the impasse.
Sidi Njie. Sidi Njie.
Aji Fatou, lu tax ngay call?
Sidi Njie, I'm watching you. I mean, I just wanted to say.
Let
me. Sidi
no, Aji Fatou. No, dama doon use as an example rek waxuma dara. I was just referencing. If I wax naa ne waxuma ne commit nga any crime. Waxuma loolu. I'm not saying that. I'm not accusing anybody of anything.
Mane maa ngi laa déglu te man nag definitely with all honesty for somebody like me, I mean, people have a right to join anybody that they want to join. Dégg la tamit nit ñi people am na ñoo xam ne tamit ñoom tamit seen right lañ nekk suñ bëggee wax ne why were you here and then today you decide to go over there. I mean, people have a right to question that. Waaye dégg naa nga wax ne ñoom Fatou Camara ñoom Sidi Sane ñoom ñëpp ñu ngi woon APRC. Man musuma taxaw podium APRC waxal APRC. Man, I was the press secretary. So I traveled with you to Ethiopia on the 50th anniversary of the African Union as Jammeh's press secretary. I did not travel with you as an APRC member. Okay. I just want to clarify that definitely.
Thank you very much.
I did vote for APRC in the 2011 elections, but I was never APRC.
Thank you, Aji Fatou.
I'm not Barrow Tamit.
Aji Fatou, thank you very much. So Omar,
keep it up.
Thank you. What I was saying, you know, to be honest with you, I'm not accusing her, but pour wax rek ne ñu bari doon work for government. Man, I was a politician. Pour nit ñi xam ne xam nga am na ñu bari understanding politics. So demee Sénégal sax te mo na maa ngi gis ñi maa ko ni ma diwang la saga on Facebook because of da nga react man Sidi Njie kenn duma wax ne dana gis on Facebook or newspaper or radio ma talk comment di saga nit dina you are useless, you are irresponsible, or you are this. Wallahi, I will never do that. Need suma sage has my own papers on radios on television. Billahi, I will not respond to you. Because Lolo, that shows the level of maturity. That shows whether you are ignorant or you are not ignorant. That shows whether you are enlightened or you are not. Lolo, if I want a band type, do you have moral or culture, or you are cultured or not? Man, I am cultured, and I know politics and diplomacy and governance. Te respect na people's ku nekk am nga sa right to belong ak sa opinion. Omar, you are my friend. I have no mënuma wax ne you are APRC also. You are an observer and you are my good friend. And Aliou Cissé and others. Bàyyi naka su dul musula nekk suma diggante ak yow. Musuma laa wax about politics, musuloo ma wax about politics. Te booba ba léegi we are friends. Whatever the case may be, respect with the continue. Maybe now you don't agree. You don't have to agree on my opinion or principles or policy or whatever. Me also the same thing. Why lolu warta tax be duñ nek bena duñ nek jama. Té man lu may wax moy so xolé even on my this statement. Let us not be twisting on issues. Ku nek am na right. President Barrow is the president of the republic. And the position of president and all these public or government officials belong to all of us. Ken momut place. Right. Ku nek am na right pour criticize President Barrow. Ku nek am na right pour challenge ko.